don't try a seance. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. I've joined this that no nigga with the bass and the bang. Make it do, yo, hit you with the 5 elements like 5 elephants. Let him know I'm relevant, I'm heaven sent telling.
All right, and we are live here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. If Ruben could shut the fuck up with that theme song, holy shit. That's what he always seems to do. He'll always put it like low, high, low, high. I swear he's fucking with me every single week. I swear to God this always happens. But anyways, guys, welcome. This is the Round Table. I am your host, John Brecco. I say it like that shit changes. But we've got two very, very special guests for you guys today. One of them has been on the show for in the past. And we just came to realize before the show, she's going to take the place of Karen's and Susan's if they go extinct. The Karen Slayer herself, Haley Marie. How are we feeling? Probably pretty terrible after that comment. I apologize.
No, we're doing all right.
Yo, what's up, though? How you been? What you been up to? What's been going on?
Nothing really. I did a lot of laundry today. I get no shifts at work.
Nice.
Oh, wait, no. Actually, a Susan story. Do we have time for a Susan story real quick?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so Susan, the store I work at, she's this crazy woman that comes in every now and then. She really likes to terrorize me. She'll come in and, find me.
Right.
Not as a joke. She will try to find me. But
no, I'm sure.
She came up to me. And she was like, oh, I ordered this coat. And I was like, oh, you bought something? Like, you usually steal from us. But yeah, let me go get that. So I bring out her coat, and it's been shipped in a box. So, I open the box for her and everything. This bitch picks up the box cutter and goes, wow, this is a nifty little cutting thing you got here. She's one of the local, crazy ladies. I'm like, I feel unsafe. Why did you pick up the box cutter, Susan? Why did you do that?
I'm just mad she picked up somebody else's knife like that was supposed to be acceptable. You just hold somebody else's knife as soon as they drop it.
I guess so, but she started to be too much. She was just in my personal space, so my manager took over. She knew that I do not have patience. I will get rude with this lady because she's just an ass. So I go into the back. I come back out. Susan's bent over the coat. She has a rip in the crotch of her pants.
Oh no,
that's sexy. Right off the bat.
She probably used the box cutter and tried to surprise you. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's
you had to deal with some Susan surprise today. I feel absolutely terrible.
It's the good old college try, and you know what? I respect it. It's kind of like the naked man. It works 1 out of 3 times every time, and I have respect for that. I've got respect.
I love how you said 1 out of 3 times every time. You got to boost the ratio up if it doesn't work enough.
Every time. Yeah.
Man.
I'm so sorry to go through that thing.
Yeah, but anyways,
it's kind of a daily thing there.
Anyways, I do want to ask you one more thing before we get to our other guests, because we have 2 of you guys on today. Yo, tell me you're not excited about comedy clubs opening up. Tell me you're not, because I know you're lying if you are.
No, I'm so fucking excited for the clubs to be open.
Bro.
I'm so sick of people, back home, because, they never actually close down. Everything's open for everyone back home. And they're just like, well, what are you doing? When are you in the clubs? What clubs do you go to? And I'm Googling I don't even remember the names of the fucking clubs at this point. It's been so long. I would do so much just to be in a fucking club at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is I got hit up to do Broadway and I got hit up to do Greenwich so far. So
nice.
I'm waiting on those 2. I think I've got the 7th, the 8th. The 10th if I choose to do an Eastville show, because they opened back up in November, actually. That's in Brooklyn, so they were able to get away with it. At least I could go somewhere. But, that's what I've got right now. But, anyways, we've got one person who went from being a little small-town girl. She got sick of the bullshit, so she moved up to New York. And then we got this motherfucker who did the opposite. Is trying to grow as thick of a beard as possible. Fucking Oklahoma boy for the past year. We got Trevor Ryan on the show, bro. How you feeling, my dude?
Hey, man, I am feeling solid. Tired.
Yeah.
I'm fucking exhausted. Yeah, I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, you just had to put your kid to bed though, so I can imagine.
Yeah, it's parent life. It's good though. It's all fun and games until you're putting your kid to bed, and it takes 45 minutes. You know. No, this is the good one. This is the good kid. He goes straight down, and it's lights out. Yeah.
I didn't even know this motherfucker had a kid before the show.
The one that's here currently, he's 6. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
6
That's
years
not
old.
bad.
Yeah. He's a youngin'. Yep. Yeah, and it's just one elbow, just to the jaw, and then they sleep through the night. It's pretty wild.
Out like a light.
Yeah.
Yeah, just goes to sleep.
Hashtag life hack. You know what I mean? So just put that in your back pocket. In the future,
And they're young enough. They don't bruise yet. They don't do that.
They also won't remember it. So when they're 18 and they bring it up, you can gaslight the fuck right out of them, and they won't know.
Ooh, gaslighting.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't remember? You didn't remember that shit back then? What makes you think you remember it now? Just ruins everything for them.
That's how our parents raised us, and I'll be goddamned if I'm not going to follow suit. You know.
Yeah, you had amnesia back then when you were getting a fucking backhand, so you already know it's the truth. But,
yeah, man.
Yo, I do actually want to focus a lot on you because Haley's been on the show before. You know, this is your first time coming on here, and you actually just launched a new podcast. You know, I want you to talk a little bit about that. You know, you had first 2 episodes, you interviewed somebody on the second one, so. Talk a little bit about the podcast, man. Tell us what's up.
I've wanted to sort of do this project for a long time. I spent most of my teenage years into adulthood in a band, and I toured around and did a lot of that, and then kind of came off of that and restructured my life around now software engineering is what I'm in school for. But I've always had like this driving passion to just sort of start a podcast and just I don't really even care what happens, or viewership doesn't really matter to me. I just kind of wanted to do it and have that kind of project in my pocket. So I had this idea of doing sort of like a darker interview process for comedians and sort of show the human side of comedy. And you know how like everything is not a joke, but it kind of is though. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that's where it's centered around, and that's kind of what I wanted to move toward a lot. I initially wanted to have some sort of persona, kind of like Stephen Colbert, but I kind of settled on just the fuctrosity that is myself and my own personality. So, but yeah, today daily, tomorrow evening. That is the podcast. Yeah.
I like it. So the first guy you interviewed, tell me how that went, because the first one you did with the co-host. And this is the first chance you really got to interview somebody. So tell me what that process was like for you. How did you feel doing it?
Nerve-wracking. I was nervous. It was a good interview. I mean, it flowed really well. The episode hasn't been released yet. I'm still editing that now. But his name is Harry Lebo, really talented comedian, young. He's in our Displaced Comedians group, mine and John's. I'm not sure if you're doing that. Oh, word. Yeah, nice. So yeah, he's in there. He reached out and he was really vulnerable and gave a super raw interview, and it gave me a lot of hope for how things are going to move in the future. And I thought that was pretty inspirational and super cool. Yeah, really rad. He was a really good kid. Super funny too. I think he's like 16 or something like that. Super funny.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Really funny. And the amount of self-awareness that this kid had is insane. Like he was talking about how cringy his past stuff was. And I was making jokes like, is that 9-year-old material, like, cause you're so young, but he just has this huge amount of self-awareness as far as how he wants to progress and how he thinks comedy is now. It's really, really good. Really good guy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's some really good stuff for the 16-year-old to be like that and actually look at material. and be like, yo, this is cringy, this is cringy, this is cringy.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you're thinking of all this stuff when you're 16 and, you know, you're trying to put it to a stage and, you know, you think you've got something really good, you know, I can only imagine 16-year-old me is going to say, like, stick to this, stick to that, you know, isn't really going to be thinking of, like, how to improve. So that's really good for a 16-year-old to just be thinking of all these different things, you know, that he can do better. And, you know, imagine how good the kid is going to be when, you know, he's in his 20s like us. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 26. I think Haley's got a few years younger than me, but imagine how good he's going to be like in that 5-10 years when he's around our age, you know?
It's insane because I was actually talking about like my heroes and the people, the comedic geniuses that I really kind of like fall in line with and that I would have loved to, you know, sort of study their comedic timing. And I was naming off like George Carlin and even newer comedians like Anthony Jeselnik and Bo Burnham. And he was just vibing all over these guys. And I didn't really even find I didn't find those guys until, excuse me, I didn't find those guys until, you know, my mid-20s. I'm 29, so I'll be 30 this year. And I really didn't even find these guys or really even find like, I don't know, some of the greats until my mid-20s. I was, you know, until then, I was still listening to fucking Dane Cook, you know, and pieces of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just blew my mind to hear the 16-year-old kid just, you know, rattling off names that I was super comfortable with now going into my 30s and felt super embarrassed by that. I am not proud of myself for how I've...
Listen, I enjoyed Dane Cook back in middle school. It's just after that he fell off the face of the earth.
Dude, so, like, and I missed that memo. It just like, right by my head.
Like, all right, so here's the thing. You look at Dane Cook, I think the same way Haley looks at Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So we got to get into that. You know, Jerry Seinfeld has a legacy in comedy that I think far surpasses Dane Cook. She just doesn't find Jerry Seinfeld funny personally. You know, it's dry humor, and she just has a tough time listening to it.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of with her on that.
Humor.
That's the thing. You don't like Jerry Seinfeld though, so like.
Yeah,
I don't like Jerry Seinfeld.
Humor, but I don't like Jerry Seinfeld.
Like, listen, I am right there with you. I am 100% there with her because, so first of all, Seinfeld is a fucking dick. I watched an interview of him on, who was it? It was Larry, the fucking, why can't I not think of his name? I don't know. It was
I mean, you're right. He's a dick. So I'm with you.
He does this interview and the interviewer is like, wasn't Seinfeld, was it canceled or did you just decide to quit? And Seinfeld was not having any of that shit. He was like, what do you mean? Like, no. I chose to take this shit off. My shit does not stink. Like, it was insane to watch it.
Oh, but crazy. It does.
So.
Well, like, here's the thing. It was never good because of Seinfeld. Like, there were characters on that show that were great, and he was not one of them. And it was just named after him. And he got
Kramer's hilarious.
But Seinfeld, the show was great. I loved the actual sitcom. Like it was the show about nothing. Great show. I loved the dynamic all the way through. I just had no idea how much of a twat Jerry Seinfeld was until like, you know, the recent years. And Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, it's trash. I'm really sorry, it's trash.
It is trash.
I'm not.
It's not that good. Honestly,
I've seen one episode and I was so disappointed in it.
The only episode that I actually like is the one he did with Eddie Murphy.
I haven't seen
that's the only one that, you know, I've actually been able to watch because, you know, I think he had Jimmy Fallon on it. He had Barack Obama on it, if I remember correctly, because I've watched a few episodes of it, and that was the only one that I actually, you know, was able to get through. But other than that, it was just awful. Haley's looking off to the side, scratching her neck. I don't think I've ever seen her look this upset on the show.
No. I was just remembering, like, the single episode I've seen of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee was the John Mulaney episode. And, like, I like John Mulaney. He's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Like, he's popular. He's great. I love his rhythm, his style. It's great. And the entire interview, he basically just recited a set, and I was like, I I came here for an interview. I came here to like see you as a person. Like I can go on Netflix and see this exact set.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like you couldn't like neither of you could do anything other than this. Like okay.
Yeah, like why would you just recite your whole set just to go get coffee? Like you can do that anytime. You can do that anytime you get coffee. You could do that before a show. You could do that after the show, so you remember what you forgot during. You could have done that any other fucking time, and that's what we had to sit through. What we saw on Netflix already.
No, the thing is that I actually like the concept of comedians and cars getting coffee. Just because it is a simple,
concept, yeah.
it has the simplicity that you want. It also has like, I feel like if someone like Jay Leno, because he's a car guy too, you know, I feel like if Jay Leno had been hosting that show, it would have been
he could do a different car for every interview.
Absolutely, would have been great, great show. But Seinfeld
it's a really good concept.
Yeah, without Seinfeld's supporting cast, he just doesn't really have. I never liked his stand up. Was never a fan of that. So
no,
I guess that's kind of that song.
It sounds like I'm like sitting there listening to dad jokes. It's
yeah, or just someone rant without really any punchline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But here's the thing with John Mulaney, the John Mulaney episode. Like I've already heard the story of how your dad drove to McDonald's and got a black coffee and fucked your whole day.
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to that on Jerry Seinfeld as much as I love that story because that story is fucking. That sounds like some shit my dad would have done.
For sure.
Like, just destroy my fucking dreams so I don't have to have hope in my 20s. You know what I mean? Like that's a role model dad there, in all honesty. But you know, so I mean, I guess the next thing I want to ask is, you know, what were you thinking of doing with the show in the future? Because, you know, I don't want to focus the whole time on the show because, you know, when we had a phone conversation yesterday, you actually told me a lot of shit just, you know, about comedy, about you personally, you know, and about the show as well. So, like, what kinds of guests are you looking to get with the future? Because I understand, you know, you're looking to get the human side of comics, but, you know, who did you have in mind?
My goal is not necessarily to go big in terms of artistry. You know, like I want as many local and fresh, good comedians as I can find. But that does mean that I want them to meet a standard. Like I think there is good comedy and bad comedy. I know a lot of people will disagree, and some people will say, you know, everyone has their niche, but no, some people are just garbage, and I don't necessarily want to promote garbage on my show.
That's true.
What's that?
Oh, you're like
He's agreeing with you.
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly. But so I want to go local, and I don't mean local as in my area. I mean within our group. I just want to, you know, because so many, the love in our group that reached back out to me and just inquired about being on the show was absolutely phenomenal. So I would really like to just kind of go down that list and find, you know, some of the greats out of those and and just kind of go from there. I do want to do this with a co-host, so I think I'll be on the lookout for that. Just someone that would potentially want to do this with me. It'll be a super easy and, you know, fun go at it anyway, but Mason's a fucking dick, and that guy could have just given me a heads up, you know? So that just it just really grinds my gears, you know?
Yo, this man has treated Mason like Lord Voldemort, because this is the first time I've heard his fucking name.
Dude, he who must not be named. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, I didn't even know his name.
Mason T? What's
so,
up?
So Mason was my former co-host. In Sunday's episode where I interviewed Harry Lebo, he just bailed on me and then really didn't even give me a heads up, you know, as far, and we've gained some okay traction, you know, like some pretty good traction based on first episode status. So for him to like kind of cut out in the middle of it, just, you know, it just, it really got me.
No, like,
but, you know,
that's really dickish.
Yeah, super dickish. My gosh.
Like he should have at least given you a reason why.
Yeah, I mean he's supremely handsome. He's a handsome fellow, so maybe he thinks he can get away with it. And goddamn it, maybe he can those baby blues. Yeah.
You If you're gonna trust people, you gotta trust ugly motherfuckers like myself. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I know something about that. I'm an ugly fat motherfucker, so I'm not gonna let you down. You want to know how fat I am, Trevor?
No,
I can
no,
be,
man.
Look, man, I'm so fat I could be my own airbag when I drive. So
Oh,
that's all I'm trying to
man,
say.
that's rough. If I were to make a joke on your behalf, which I'll make, like I could make a billion on my own behalf. Like I have
Yeah.
the mouth of a beaver, on a human
Yeah,
face,
sure.
my two front teeth. If I were to make a joke, on your behalf, I would say something like the great value version of Jonah Hill, or gosh, I just can't.
Try to be so positive.
Damn.
Yo, look,
Oh man.
look, man. I tell everybody whenever I'm eating a burger, it ain't easy being greasy. All right.
Oh man, dude. Look at this beard though. Like we could just sit and riff on this bad boy, this mop for hours. You know what I mean?
You want to talk
So,
about a mop? This is a fucking mop. This head of
dude,
hair. That's
I
a
almost
fucking
don't
mop,
have I almost don't have hair anymore. Like it's
bro.
it's
Let me
fading.
let me tell you
Fading
something. A
quickly.
janitor could clean a floor with this hair. That's some shit.
Bone dry. Bone
You know.
dry.
I think I might have stolen a little bit off of your head, so I apologize.
Yeah, hey, it's no problem, man. Just
It was
see the back how
it was either you or it was 6 years of putting a fucking kid to bed with your fucking backhand.
Yeah.
It was one of those two.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We
But-
don't condone child abuse, just for those listeners out
No,
there.
never.
That, most of the
Just
time.
for like on the
Mhm.
record.
Yeah. On the
Look,
For
record,
legal
man,
purposes.
90% of the time we avoid it.
I love how they're the ones that had to say it on my show.
We
Yo.
felt as though you may not disclose that information.
Bro, look, cancel culture's been going crazy in 2021, so I can't even be mad. Although they've been
It's pretty
canceling
wild.
it in the wrong, they've been canceling people in the wrong order. Pepe Le Pew got canceled before Andrew Cuomo, so that I don't understand at all.
Cuomo, yes.
I'm still trying to figure that shit out. How do you cancel a fictional creep before a real one?
I don't know, man. It is pretty wild. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
I feel like Haley's really deep in thought after that one. And here's the thing. I feel like Dr. Seuss should have been last, before all of it.
Or just not at all. I mean,
Yeah,
here's the thing. I do agree that, well, no. So I do agree that cultural appropriation is a thing. I just don't think necessarily that Dr. Seuss had intended that, because Dr. Seuss has always been about, equality since we were kids.
No, Dr. Seuss is known to be incredibly racist. He was like a known Nazi.
Was he really?
Is that a
I
real
actually didn't
thing?
know
Yeah, so
that. Okay, that's what it was.
no, we're not canceling one fish, two fish. Like we're canceling his extremely racist depictions of Asian people that are
Okay.
not okay, that have
That's
never
fair.
been okay.
That's fair.
Though also the Seuss family has decided on their own behalf to pull those books. No one's canceled. They said, "Hey, we don't want to publish these anymore because these include racist depictions of Asian people, of Black people, of people of color, basically." And
Yeah.
That's fair.
so they decided to pull
Okay.
those books on their own. It's not like
And
any classics that we know personally.
Okay.
And you know what? That could
Yeah.
just be, that could come down to my me not wanting to accept that, because when you see something wholesome and then you realize how fucked up it really was,
It's not wholesome.
in stages or whatever, it's not wholesome at all. It kind of shatters your entire childhood. It's kind of like looking at Bill Cosby, because we know that he is fucking Bill
God.
Cosby. Like, Jesus Christ, he's Bill Cosby. But we still remember watching the Cosby Show on Nick at Night, and that nostalgia
True.
doesn't go away. It just hurts a whole lot more, and sometimes in your butthole. You know what I mean? So it's just
Literally for Bill Cosby. Why are you raising
Wait,
your hand like you're in school?
Wait. Let me raise my hand. Okay, I just funny story. So my best friend in the world, Megan, her boyfriend, we were staying at his house for a period during quarantine over the summer. And he looked out his window and he said, "Hey, you see that building like way out in the distance, like way past like all those fields?" And we were like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that's the prison where Bill Cosby is."
No shit.
No,
That's
no,
always
I'm
fun.
not, I'm not fucking kidding. That was the funniest shit.
How do you not? Did you stop and just take pictures? I mean, because I think I would have. You know,
No,
like I
like
think,
we were sitting like in his bedroom, like he can wave goodnight to Bill Cosby.
oh,
Eh. I
Like
mean,
you like
why?
you
Has he
can
ever
you can
tried
look
it?
across. Well, I mean,
I think
we symbolically were like good night.
that would have been
Did
so cool 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Like that would have been super awesome to be able to wave to Bill Cosby 25 years ago. And now you want to shut your blinds to make sure he's not watching you unchanged. You know what I'm saying?
Just go and fucking princess wave to Bill Cosby from the prison. just because you know he can't do it back.
Eat a steak just in the window.
Yeah. As your princess, no, you don't even cut the steak before. You just pick up the whole steak, and you're just like, nah.
You just fist it. Ah. Yes, sir.
Just fist the whole steak like you wish. Nah. Oh
That's
shit.
Oh,
man.
wait, another point on Dr. Seuss. He cheated on his wife who had cancer. So, yeah. There's
Jesus
that
Christ,
too.
I was out of line. I was so out of line. I'm so sorry
I've
for
ne-
that. Man.
Yo,
Fucking
Hey,
A.
that's
I've never
okay.
seen somebody spit out a vape before. Like
I'm
dude
telling
spit
you,
out
man.
gas from his mouth.
You're hitting me sideways with these Seuss facts. It's killing me. It is murdering me. But it's, the more you know. The more you know.
You just
For sure. Dude,
Yo,
what
but-
about the guy? It was kind of like the guy. Do you remember the guy, the father from Seventh Heaven, when it came out that he had like, do you guys remember Seventh Heaven, first of all?
I
Please
do
don't-
remember that.
please tell me.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
like I know what it is, but I never saw it.
Okay. Well, it was this show that was centered around a family, and the father was a preacher. So the family was, just it's a very wholesome show. It was on ABC Family when I followed it. Anyway, the father of that show later, it had come out that he had molested a number of children, 13 years and like younger. Just absolutely insane.
Put a new
Yeah,
rating
and that
on
just kind of, it's just people are killing dreams out here, and it's hard to watch. Jared Fogle, God, the Subway guy, the fucking Subway
yeah.
guy, man, they
Jesus
found
Christ.
a plethora of child porn in his walls.
Now
Yeah.
everybody with that type of fucking glasses just looks like a child molester because of him.
Man,
Like you
Can't
can't
get it
buy
out
a
of your head.
whole type of glasses because of that asshole.
you can't. Entire,
You know how many-
entire
know how
genre
many
of
fucking-
glasses.
You know how many people fucking had to get contacts because of Jared from Subway? 'Cause nobody can look at him the fucking same. Like, how are you gonna do that? There's so many
Oh,
people with
man.
fucking eyesight problems.
Man,
Like all the fucking problems he's got now, he's gonna go cause more for all those people. Like, what kind of shit is this?
Wait,
Uh.
speaking of glasses, my friend sent me a Snapchat of his like new sunglasses he just bought today. And he's like, "How you think they look?" I sent him back a picture of Pitbull in big sunglasses.
Yo,
He said,
I wanna-
"Great, now I hate them."
real quick, I want to give a shout out to Kaloni Kelly who's watching us. I don't even know who that is. She just asked us, "Are you ready?" I just said, "Nah."
Nah, fam.
Well, I mean,
I just-
we're trying.
I just- I
Good
just wa-
effort.
I just wanted to let her know I wasn't ready for all these Seuss facts. So whatever effort I made was negated
Oh
because of that.
man,
listen,
okay. I didn't even think that was
listen.
coming, but yeah.
I just thought this dude made shitty ass rhymes. I was uneducated about Dr. Seuss altogether. Yo,
That's
Dude,
okay.
I was
Hey.
way out of line.
you want
Dude,
to know what I
Learning
want
a
to
good thing.
you want to know what I want to say?
Like
Honestly,
what?
comedy is the field where I feel the best about being uneducated because I get to make more jokes about shit.
Yeah,
And I
that's
don't
fair.
have to feel bad. And then
Guys.
after I write the joke, it's like, ah, shit. Well, I already wrote it, so it's all right.
Have you guys
If it-
heard?
You know what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, let me just say this one thing, and then I'll let you get what you're about to say.
You're
But
good.
it's like once I write the joke and I see it works, and I just defend that one person who tells me, it's like, well, it worked for everybody else, so you must have the problem. But
Yeah.
anyways, Trevor, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I just read this thing, just scrolling through Facebook, about people banning to cancel Harry Potter. Has anyone heard that? Anyone heard about the J.K. Rowling thing?
Haley
Okay,
Marie.
J.K. Rowling's been canceled. We pretend she doesn't exist. That's not a thing.
Okay, right. Well, I just fucking heard
Harry
about
Potter's not canceled. Harry Potter, a lovely story.
it. People are
J.K.
saying that
Rowling,
that's
a horrible
not-
person.
now, hold on. Now, to argue your point, they're saying that if you reread the series, it's full of misogyny and bigotry
Yeah,
and
it is.
and homophobia. Even
Yep.
though, and they say that a lot of people are saying that her later saying that Dumbledore was gay was really just a ploy for marketing purposes, which I can get behind, especially because of her comments about transgender people, which I thought were not only inappropriate, but like just super unprofessional, like just madly unprofessional. So I just find it fucking weird. I didn't know any of this. I just had to kind of delve into it and find out. But thanks for beating me ahead of the curve, Haley. I really appreciate that. Fuck you.
Yeah.
No. I'm like a Harry Potter buff. I'm just up to date on like that specifically.
Yeah.
No. I just want to say one of these days, J.K. Rowling is gonna come out and say I was just kidding about all those comments. Look, it's in my name, J.K.
JK, yeah.
He's not intelligent enough to make that joke.
Well,
man.
you know what? Maybe I can be hopeful for somebody who realized they were wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Look. I'm trying to look on the bright side of things. Is all I'm saying. Okay. I don't have to get eyes that are that wide, bro. I've never seen your eyes get that wide before. But yo, Trevor, I actually want to talk to you like about you as a person though, because you actually have a really interesting story, and you put me up on some stuff about you that I probably never would have known. You moved to Oklahoma, but you didn't move out of the city for comedy or any reason like that. It actually had to do with family. So if you're comfortable talking about that, I do want everybody, that's listening to be able to hear your story as well. So if you wouldn't mind, grace us with that, kind sir.
Yeah, man. It's not a super long story. It's I grew up in foster care and then moved to Colorado later on. I was adopted when I was 10. That should be noted, by family that didn't really have a part of my life prior to that. And then grew up in sort of a really dysfunctional but wealthy home. And later on left and joined a band and did a lot of touring there. I met my biological mom not too long ago, and she lives here in Oklahoma. So I just kind of wanted to, I wanted to, I wouldn't say rekindle, but just develop a relationship with her before I don't, have the opportunity to. And I met my girlfriend here, and that was awesome. And then it just sort of, fit, and everything just kind of fell together. So, is Oklahoma the ideal place to be? Absolutely fucking not. Couldn't be further from that. But it's the place that I want to be at the moment. It's the place where all of my people are, my support group, if of sorts are, So that's pretty rad. And I'm So yeah, that's that's pretty much the whole shebang. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, where would you want to go after Oklahoma? Because the support group is there, and I'm sure you want to get back to Denver at some point because that's where the big comedy scene was for you. You mentioned yesterday, how it's just like maybe like one or two bars, that you might hit up. There might be like a couple of groups that hit up open mics, but that's really about it down there. So is Denver a place you want to get back to, or what were you thinking of after?
Yeah. I mean, I lived a little in California and I loved it there, but it had its issues. Really, as much as I've traveled just in the US alone, Colorado is just the most phenomenal place. It has this, it has this exquisite underground music scene that spans through like every genre you can imagine. They have like this insane underground hip hop scene. They have this really incredible mountain folk scene. I wrote for a magazine called Boulder Beat while I was there, and I just got this opportunity to explore like so many different great bands. And then their comedy scene is just absolutely insane. They have the Laugh Factory there, which is a great place. And I mean, like a lot of big name comedians go, and they have a bunch of these little small just underground comedy clubs there that are just insane. So yeah, and my best friends, they live in Colorado. So if there is like if there is a moving away from Oklahoma for me after that, it's 100% back to Denver. Yeah, without a doubt, or somewhere close to that.
Yo, I forgot the Laugh Factory was actually in Colorado. I keep thinking it's out in like California and shit.
Yeah,
and then I remember it's like right next to there. So I completely forgot it was in fucking Colorado. So it's in Denver?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it is, actually, yeah.
Right. I didn't mean to ask you that while you were trying to vape, so I apologize.
You're good. You're solid, man. No worries.
But I'm kind of connecting the
smoke.
Yeah, right. He's just like trying to like walk through the cloud and shit from his couch. Like I've never seen that before. Like bro, you made him spit up gas earlier. Like he's doing shit with that I've never seen.
Yeah.
Fuck Christ. But I'm connecting the dots a little bit here. So, you mentioned that Denver has an underground scene, a big underground scene, hip hop. I'm sure it's got like the big rock scene over there too, because you mentioned you were with a band. So did it like start in Denver and you toured from there, and it kind of like led, started at Denver, went there, other places, then back again. Was it kind of something like that, or am I overthinking it a little bit?
No. I mean, it started, I would say music in general started for me when here, because I grew up mostly here. I left later on and then lived, 7 years, I think total, around 6 or 7 years in Denver. But me, as far as like having a residence, was mostly here throughout that my younger days, my teenage years. So what were we talking about? I completely forgot what the question was. That's just
it was about if I was overthinking it, if you started in Denver, toured around, and then went back. So you were answering it in the middle of how you forgot, but
yeah, man. It's okay. So it started here, in Oklahoma. But it really took off. Around in living in Colorado. That's when I got, a lot of the bigger, I don't know, opportunities that I had to work with people like John Lensing, who is this incredible folk artist and also one of my very best friends now. And he's kind of blowing up all around the Midwest and in Colorado as well, and his music is phenomenal. And, just like a ton of other great, just these bands that just allowed me to come in and, either write about them or play alongside them, which was really, really incredible. And it just kind of took off from there. And then I got tired of it. It got to be a lot where I think that when you're playing the same material day in and day out, you eventually, it just becomes a job. And when you want to keep it as a hobby, you kind of have to step back from that and figure out different things, and utilize different parts of your brain, I think.
No,
so,
sure.
Yeah,
no.
So that's what I'm at now.
I got one more question for you, and then I actually got something I want to ask Haley. So,
For sure.
What I want to ask you is, talk to me about some of the bands you got to tour with. Tell me some of the stories you have traveling on the road, because, I don't know if Haley, traveled a lot, but, a lot of us, have stories about traveling, going to different places, hitting up these different cities. I've been, at a few cities that have been like 3-4 hours away myself. So tell me about, some of the people that you've got to perform with, some of the stories of being on the road. Tell me a little bit about that.
Man, so a lot of it was on my own, doing a lot of busking, but you know, I mentioned John Lensing before. Great, great folk artist. Getting a lot bigger, independently, of course. But I got to work with a guy named Kevin Dye, who's the lead singer of a band called Gates, and they're pretty massive. And that was an extremely, you know, great opportunity for me. And I mean, just gosh, it's just so many great, just like local people that I got to. Yeah, it would just be a list of just really great artists that are either, you know, coming up now or Keena Grannis back in the day. It's hard. It's really hard to even just like come up with names, but so many great people. Just a lot of great people that I consider just incredible friends now. That took me everywhere, like all over the place. You know, I've never been to Hawaii or Alaska, and that's it. You know, pretty much. So it's
Okay.
It was great. Yeah.
All right. So, what's been like one of your favorite stories or one of your favorite shows? Because I feel like that got left out a little bit. So, is there anything you can tell me? Or
Yeah. I sold out a vegan restaurant in Denver called the Corner Beat, and it was a super small venue, but it was my first gig as a solo artist outside of a band, and I was opening up for John. And I had went through the first 2 songs of my set. They were originals from a record that I had recorded about 3 months before that. Hadn't even released it yet, and I'm playing these songs, and I had my eyes closed through the second song, which was a cover of Cigarettes by Noah Gunderson. And when I opened my eyes, there were, upwards of 200 people standing in this room, and it was dead silent. And then people were in tears, and it was powerful. Like I'm getting like goosebumps, like thinking about it right now, just because of how powerful like that moment was. So if I had to say like a defining moment or a favorite moment of my music career, it's that 100% without a doubt. Yeah.
I like it. I don't know. I think Haley had to go over to the side from you just talking about this shit. But all right,
no. My radiator started whistling, and I was like, I can't have this shit right now.
She got so into that story, her fucking apartment almost blew up. Fucking hell. But yo, honestly, that's a good story, man. I enjoyed listening to that. I do want to, share a story of mine as well. So probably one of my favorite sets was up in Morristown, New Jersey, and it was, it was in a bar. I thought this was going to be a regular bar show, casual. You're gonna hear you're gonna hear a bunch of fucking jackasses in the back trying to talk, and I thought it was gonna be something like that, but. The guy who produced it, his name is Bob Pierce, so he got a show together, brought, a bunch of people he knows, worked with the staff in the bar. He knew those guys. And, it was just a really nice set where, everybody listened, everybody laughed. I got to, work with the crowd for about half the set. I really got to fuck with this one guy who was drinking a White Claw in front of me, which is like an alcoholic Starbucks. Don't ever drink a White Claw in front of me. How dare you?
An alcoholic Starbucks.
That's what the fuck it looks like. It looks like a Starbucks can. Like, why is any grown man drinking this? Like, what are you doing with yourself? You're drinking an alcoholic latte right now. Come on. Like, it
an alcoholic
just hurt my
fruit
feelings.
couch.
Yeah, basically. You might as well just drink. You might as well just drink Smirnoff. But anyway,
actually, yeah.
Yeah, honestly. But anyway, I almost forgot where I was with that. But it was just a really good set. Everybody in there was good sports. I took a friend with me, and we ended up staying for about 3 hours because people wouldn't leave me the fuck alone, and I had work the next day, which was the only bad part about it. But we rolled with it. He's over there playing pool. The only reason why we were able to leave once it got to like 1:30 in the morning, because my friend got drunk and he was playing pool, and they got in an argument about the rules to the point where it was almost a fist fight over fucking pool. That's how drunk this kid was. So they were like, you got to take him home. And I was like, all right, I've been trying to leave for the last 2 hours anyway. This is just a good excuse. But I just enjoyed the show and just being around, a bunch of people that got to enjoy it that much. I was just glad, I could make that many people's night, and I think that's what I love the most about comedy, being able to just talk to people after that enjoyed it so much. And, just the camaraderie of it after. I think that's one of my favorite things about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of keeps me around, because none of these guys are paying me much. So, yeah, we're all struggling with that. But, like I said, that's what keeps me around. That's one of the things that keeps me doing it. And I've really have just grown to enjoy it, especially for that reason. So, I'm going to take it back to Haley on that story. Yo, I have a question for you, and this is something I've been wondering for a while. You might have actually already told me this. I'm sure you can hear me without moving your hair, but
oh no, that's like a new like trendy reaction. It's like, oh,
we're going with what's trending
sorry.
now. You did you do a couple TikTok videos where you're doing this shit? Trying to get famous over here.
No, it's actually called the Debbie Ryan because like she's known for doing that in her acting, and we just make fun of it. So.
Okay. All right, sure, why not? But yo, you might have even told me the answer to this already, but if you did, I just forgot. I really have no excuse. But yo, are you still involved with like acting at all? Because I know that's why you came up to New York in the first place. So are you like still involved with it, or did you just want to do comedy after a while?
It kind of like took a back seat in college after like I found comedy. Like I went to college like for acting, but then I took the comedy class and I was like, oh shit, like this is what I love. Like I do like acting, and like that is always going to be like, like second place, but like comedy is really just it for me. I really do love it. I love performing, the writing, just I don't know, it's just my thing.
I just want to say she did tell me the story, and I'm just an asshole. Okay, I just wanted to try and figure that shit out.
I get to tell it again and rehearse it and memorize it.
She basically just told me that entire story in a different way. Ah, shit.
It's all right. But I mean, like my friend Megan, like she does her acting and stuff, and we write things, and like, I help her with that. She helps me with my stuff. It's like, it's whatever happens.
Hey John, you're being a real Draco Malfoy. Did you get it?
Draco Malfoy. Why are we taking the Harry Potter characters and making different names for them just because of something J.K. Rowling did?
It just felt relevant. It felt in the moment. I just pulled it right out of the back pocket, just laid it right there on the table. I just figured you guys continue.
And I love how he tried to make it close to my last name. It's just to try to make it sound like as much me as possible.
There are people out there.
We both got the hair to the side and everything. You look like Haley. You look like you're judging me right now.
I feel she's
judging me. I would never do that.
That is bullshit. You've done it so many times already.
I feel that.
Like, you think I'm not gonna see through this by now?
Those vibes are just being radiated,
Yeah, like you can tell, right? You can tell all of the judgment is there. It's like I just said Dr. Seuss quotes right now.
Oh.
I feel like we're digressing.
I am a piece of shit. I do digress, though. But, I do want to ask, though, because I know Ruben does have to get out of here probably within the next 5-10 minutes. But what actually made you, and I'd say you as in Trevor, what made you want to start comedy?
Oh, dude. My children. I think watching those little bastards just live their lives, has been the most radical and I don't know. It's been this amazing shit show, this incredible, like this awesome, really, truly amazing, like welcomed shit show, and so just watching them and then relaying the stories, and then always having, when I was a kid, I think comedians come from trauma. I don't think that there really is a way around that. If you're good at comedy, it's because you've been hurt. You know, people have put things in your butt, probably, maybe. And so, you know, I think that's where I came from. And that's where I just, you know, I wanted to make jokes about people putting things in my butt and when I was a kid. And so that made people laugh. And even though, and not those jokes particularly, but you know, even though like my traumatic shitting on myself jokes were hitting, like they were true, and it made people feel good, and it made me feel good to sort of tell that story without, you know, trying to, you know, welcome pity. I can't stand sympathy, so I'd rather people laugh at me. You know what I mean? If people are laughing at me, then at least I'm getting some type of reaction, and it feels great. It feels amazing getting those laughs. My God, it's just there's nothing like it. You know, there's nothing.
You
like
know what
it.
I think? You know what I think it is with the story where you shit on yourself. I've actually never heard that story, but you know what I think it is with that story. I think you know there's you know everybody in the crowd usually has like one story where they've done that, and they're just like, this motherfucker gets it, and then that just makes them feel so good, and they laugh.
Yeah,
Because I feel like that's happened to, you know, most people at least once in their life, you know, probably somewhere through childhood. If it's happened in adult, that I
yeah.
feel a little bit more sorry for you. But, you know, I
Please
feel
don't.
like
I don't
everybody
want
has at least one of those.
that.
Because
You know,
I have one of those because I used to love the beach as a kid.
yeah.
And I stayed out in the water for too long, and I was like, wait, I gotta go shit. Do I have to go that bad? And I tried to tell myself no for as long as I could. The story's not as long as you think it is, but
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it was like that.
well, so for those who don't, just a preface, I guess, like for those who don't know, I was just bullied by these two kids in school, and I was a thinker. So I thought, listen, I'll just shit on myself in class, and I'll be sent home for the day. And I was super young, like I was like really, really young. So, but it worked. I mean, it worked like a fucking dream. And you know what? Like, I don't regret anything. I did what I did, and I stand directly by it. That shitting story, that's my Michelle Obama. That's my
Oh,
Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying?
you stood by it. You sat by it too. You sat
Oh,
on top of it. I feel like
she's right here. She's right here.
right over there. Yeah, let me ask you though, how bad did you get bullied the next day?
It was brutal, man. It was a real shit show.
Yeah, literally, right?
Yeah. Zing. Oh man.
Oh man,
Oh,
yo, yo. Before we end the show, because I know Ruben does have to get out of here, what are some future things that you want to do with comedy? Let's talk a little bit about that because, you know, me and Haley are going to be able to do shows in New York again. So I'm looking to a lot of shit that's, you know, coming up as well, especially with, you know, the new job I just started today and everything. So what do you want to do in the future with comedy? Just to end off.
shows, man. I don't have the confidence. I mean, it's weird. It's so weird because right now, sitting in front of my, you know, computer, I definitely have, I feel like I have that confidence, but to stand in front of people and to just sort of shoot off as many one-liners as I can and hope that a couple of them grab, it makes my hands sweaty right now, like
Yeah.
right this moment, just thinking about it. But it's also something that like I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love the idea of doing something that terrifies me, and if it works, then you know that's incredible. And if it doesn't, it could be devastating. But the likelihood of it not working doesn't outweigh the opportunity of it actually working. So you know
I
what I
agree.
mean. So shows. I want to do shows. I don't really have any interest in acting. I would be a terrible actor. I would be 100% awful, and I'm okay with that. But I would love to do. I would love to do just shows, just some open mics, maybe some virtual open mics. What do you guys think of those virtual open mics? Are
Virtual
they
mics.
good? Yeah. Are they
I've,
hitting?
I've
Are they
done
good?
I've done plenty of them. I've enjoyed it. They'll never be the same as live shows to me. You know,
Definitely.
so once live shows start, I want to get back on as many of those as I can possibly do with my new work schedule. So as long as I can find a way to work them in, I want to do as many as I can because, I just enjoy being able to be in front of a live crowd and being able to make those people laugh because you don't get the same relationship with those people that you have been trying to build it with on the internet. And you know what? They're great because, I've been able to get in contact with so many people from around the country and really around the world. And that's, I think, the true beauty of, the Zoom open mics, the Instagram live open mics, wherever the fuck else they're doing it from. But, there's nothing like a live show and being able to tell jokes in real time with people that are actually there. And, that's always going to be the most attractive aspect to me. And it really doesn't even matter where they go. Like I told jokes that, there was a comedy show that I did that took place at a strip club the other day.
Nice.
That's the thing. You can do it from anywhere. Here's the thing too. I never thought it was going to be okay for me to take my girlfriend to a strip club, but now I'm able to get away with it. And it's
No.
beautiful.
Normalize taking your girlfriend to the strip club. That should be a good date. That should be
yeah, right? Like holy shit. Like that's fucking great. Although
like she's getting a show as well. Like
Guys, me at a strip club is the most uncomfortable experience ever. I have never been uncomfortable. I've been to a strip club like maybe a couple of times my entire life, and just it's a whole lot of me doing this, just like a lot of this, just like eyes to the ground, that's where it is. So
that's because here's what happens. One of them will start rubbing on your arm, and you don't want them to take your money, so you just have to look away.
Because I don't have any money. I don't
exactly. That's what it fucking comes down to, because I had that happen to me, because I got a couple of drinks for the show. And when I ended up having to get my card at the end of this was actually last Saturday too. They actually lost my card. So, one of them was looking at me. She ended up coming up to me. I feel somebody rub my arm. And I'm just like, I'm just going to look the other way because I don't want you taking my money. I don't give a shit about your lap dance. Why would I when I can get one for free? So, yeah, exactly. Why do I got to pay for a lap dance when I could get one for free? Like, I'll be okay. I don't need you. But, I forget where I was even going to go with that, to be honest.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too.
I just didn't. But, I was talking
no, you're doing
about,
great.
here's what I was talking about. It was the fear that I confront every time I go to that strip club comedy show. You want to know what it is? I get scared I'm going to have to go to the fucking bathroom in that motherfucker. That's what I really get scared of.
Oh, that's a doozy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a hard one, buddy, because you don't want to sit down.
You go before you leave, and then you don't drink anything.
Well, man. I mean, yeah, you see my dilemma, right, Trevor?
Well, I mean, I'm right now, my curiosity is straying toward like, what's the bathroom of a strip club smell like? You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be not great. Or
well, here's the thing. It didn't actually smell that bad, but
it's just the thought of
that's what's worrying me. They make time to like make it smell good because they have to.
Well, John, I'll tell you about taking those monthly showers.
Monthly showers? You take monthly showers, Ruben? That's what the fuck you interrupted the show for? To let you know, to let the whole world know you have no fucking sense of hygiene.
That's right.
Hold on. Let's hear him out. Continue.
You know what? Continue for us, Ruben. I like where Trevor's trying to go with this.
I know, right?
So, what about your monthly showers? Please enlighten us.
I was telling you to introduce your monthly showers.
My monthly showers, sir. I shower. I don't even know where you're trying to go with this. Like,
Adam Ruins Everything. Have you guys ever seen that show?
Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that show.
Right. So he actually he said once that you're not supposed to shower every day. That it's not that it sort of depletes the essential oils in your body.
Yeah.
And it's I couldn't go a full day in my job, what I do for a living, like for work right now, without showering for a day. If I went a week without showering, oh my God, I would be a homeless person. People would treat me like a homeless person. Like,
that's what I would feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I were to go that long without showering.
Oh,
I can't even imagine.
I don't want to. I'd rather not, That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So,
No, but
thanks.
I'm with you on that. I'll deal with some of the extra oils in my body if it means I can smell nice.
Yeah, same.
Always. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's the one fear that I have when I go to that strip club show. And we got a couple of other people that I do want to shout out. Shout out to Annie Murray for watching the show. Shout out to Tyrus Etheridge. And, I do want to make one comment as I end the show saying, we're going to do a lot more fan interaction as we go. I know people have been wanting that from me. And, I'm able to pay attention to my phone a little bit more now as we go. So if I see your name there, I'm going to make sure to shout you out at some point during the show. Oh, apparently Annie's your girlfriend, which I had no idea. I just knew you had one.
Aww.
I cracked a smile just now, because I didn't know she was watching. Hey, babe. How's it,
you didn't know she actually gave a shit. My girlfriend's in the other room talking to her mom, so I know how that feels.
Word.
Okay.
Word. My girlfriend could be doing that as well. She talks to her mom a lot, all the time.
Yeah. But
I
do
have
want
a
to say,
girlfriend.
you don't have one?
No,
You'll
sadly,
almost-
no.
She's out
I'm
there.
almost that.
She's out there, kiddo.
Yeah, right. One day.
You hang tight.
Just keep holding on to hope. When it's all you have. But yo, Trevor, I do want to say thank you for coming on. I know the show didn't go exactly as planned because, Michael wasn't able to make it tonight. But I really, really appreciate you coming on, being able to talk on the show for the first time. I definitely want you back on sooner rather than later. Hopefully with Haley too. So, once again, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me on. This was a great time. This was super fun.
All right.
You guys have a great night.
Man. All right. You too, man. This has been the Round Table here on HamiltonRadio.net channel HR2. I am your host, John Brecco. We will be back same time, same channel next week. So make sure you guys tune in. Deuces.
Take care, Haley. Take care, Ron. Take care, John.
I'm actually born from the static sea. Acid be crazy. I'm trying to be amazing. Next big thing kinda has a nice ring. Bada boom, bada bing. You love it when I go off when you're so lost and it's so awesome. I get it cause I am from where the stars from. I'm Martian, the boogie down's the motherland. Cool arcs the overlord and we are just a cover band. I love the land I'm in, but everyone's opinionated, insinuating the word and sin. Only then you hate it. I'm always getting so high so you can gaze up. I'm going Super Saiyan, hence the reason that I blaze up. It's future mayhem and invasion in the game. No more mumbling. I'm actually saying something, you lame ass suckers. The beat is infinite where I'm from, and the timeline has only begun. You stunned? To the beat.